strongest at the weakest point, the door.
Yeah, that door is not good.
You know, there's something really interesting in nature that some animals, like this frog here, they screech when they get attacked.
Smoky jungle frogs. They have...
They scream, we could call it. And supposedly that's an adaptation, so the predator gets startled, so they uh, let them go for a second, and they take advantage of that and they run away. So it made me think a little bit about, do I have a deformed lip? I guess. So it made me think about if that's the reason we humans scream also when we get startled, when we get attacked, especially women. If that's maybe a reason for that, to startle or to call for help. It could be both, it could be either or, but it's like an adaptation to get help when you get attacked. And it makes sense that women are more prone to scream. I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. And to me, that would explain why it's such a cliche that the bad guys in movies and in shows, they always say, "Be quiet, don't scream. If you scream, this is gonna happen." So it's like they are, in a way, also adapted to be worried about the noise. They have adaptations to try and manipulate the other, let's call it the prey, to keep them quiet. Because in the past, when they screamed, they would get help or they would get scared or whatever. And and this all came because I was watching a video of a guy who's like in the North Pole, I think, whatever polar bears are, and he is observing. We all know polar bears are one of the like biggest and most dangerous predators in the world. They are one of the only animals that really see us humans as prey, as food.
This close, get an appreciation for what this animal is. It is one of the most powerful animals on the planet, one of the most intimidating.
And this guy is in a shelter. This guy's in a glass shelter, and the polar bear is sniffing, getting closer.
Okay, just checking the
It's systematically trying from all angles.
being this close, get an appreciation.
Somewhere where he can, or it can, crack in and get the food, which is the guy. And he's like sniffing, making a map in his head with its nose, and he finds like a little crack. And I'm thinking, this guy should be really scared. I would be really scared if I was in his place. And I thought, I want imagine like he would soil himself because of the stress, of the scare. And I'm not thinking this like, oh, it would be funny. I'm thinking like, well, it happens. Stress researchers mentions that one of the characteristics of the sympathetic system is like, well, you sweat, you breathe more, you breathe faster, you prepare your muscles, you suppress digestion. But one of the things that happens is that we soil ourselves and we empty ourselves when we are in extreme stress. And what I've heard some of them say is that, well, if you're gonna run, you better be light. But to me, that never made too much sense because how much can you wait? I don't think it makes a difference. But it made me think, I wonder if the bird would be disgusted. So it made me think about that. What if, in part, the reason, I mean, this had never happened to me, but it happens, people soil themselves when they are extremely stressed. It's kind of like a weapon or a distraction to make the attacker feel disgusted and maybe step back for a second so you can run away. And to me, that makes a lot of sense. But you know, maybe I'm just maybe it's just a so story. to say something, there's parameters to make an adaptation. It should be cheap, it should be universal and stuff like that. But I really not remember, so I'm not sure if it really checks all the boxes, I guess. But not everything is an adaptation. An adaptation is heritable characteristics that increases the fitness and reproduction, or the survival and fitness of the organism. So not everything it is. There's some stuff that is like Stephen Jay Gould called them, they are spandrels. And it's just like byproducts of some other processes. Like for example, the chin. The chin, there, it has no purpose, it's just what happens when the face fuses. So we also have this part here and the parted nose and parted fuse. It's not that there's a reason for it, it's just what happens when the face fuses in the womb. But I think it was interesting to think about that. I really love trying to understand humans. When I started studying psychology, my goal was I gotta understand everything about humans. And probably I'm never gonna succeed, but it's nice to chase something. So I just thought about that, thought it was interesting. If you care about those topics, you can subscribe because I think I have come to some tickles and other stuff. But anyway, that's my video. Hopefully it's interesting. Goodbye.